There's a report out in the Wall Street Journal today that indicates that the Obama administration has reached out to Ayatollah Khamenei in Iran to help in the fight against ISIS. In fact, he sent a letter to the Ayatollah, and Republicans, of course, are now livid about this. So for people who don't know, it's true that Ahmadinejad, when he was leading in Iran, it was a more anti-American regime. What they don't know is that this new president, this new leader in Iran, Hassan Rouhani, he's the most moderate candidate that was in the election, and he won. And every statement he's made, every comment I've read seems to indicate that he's tired of the sanctions on Iran. He knows the people of Iran are suffering, and he wants to make a deal with the U.S. He wants to loosen our economic sanctions and restrictions, and in return, they're willing to give up many, many aspects of their nuclear program. Now, as of right now, if you turn on mainstream media in the U.S., they'll act like Iran's going to get a nuclear weapon tomorrow. The reality is the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, who's responsible for monitoring all these countries that have nukes or are supposedly trying to get nukes, every report they've released says the same thing. Iran does not have a nuke, they don't even want a nuke, and they don't have the capability to do it. All they have is the capability for to get nuclear power for their country. So there's a big difference between enriching uranium for power, for electricity, and enriching it to the point where you can have a nuclear weapon. They're not going down that road. Every report says that. And the preliminary deal, the first deal that we made with Iran, the IAEA said Iran is complying 100% with the deal. So we are moving towards peace. You wouldn't know that if you listen to the media here in the U.S., if you listen to the idiot Republicans. But now we have another opportunity to get a full nuclear deal where there's a guarantee they won't ever have a nuke, and they don't want a nuke, okay? And that requires working with them on many issues, including ISIS. So Obama reaches out about that, and now the right says, no, you're not even allowed to discuss it. You're not even allowed to talk. Think about how childish that mindset is. How are you ever going to get peace? How are you ever going to come to an agreement if you don't sit down and talk with people? I mean, the same thing with Cuba. The Republicans are still in favor of the fucking embargo on Cuba like it's 1965. Who are you kidding? Why? Oh, because they have a different political system and economic system than we do? You're so butthurt over that we can't even have a conversation with them? We can't even trade with them? We can't visit there? And what? Again, just because it's communist, that's what they tell us. Well, guess what? What the fuck do you think China is? One of our biggest partners. They're communists, but Republicans don't bat a fucking eyelash when it comes to trading with them and talking with them and visiting there and whatnot. Well, certainly not visiting. They don't want to visit there, but they're fine with letting other people visit. So it doesn't make any sense. And also, this is something you never hear anybody say. I hope you're sitting down. Iran is not a threat to the U.S. There, I said it. It's not. Their military budget is like what we spend on a Wednesday before brunch. They would have no chance, and they know they have no chance. But you're ready for this? The U.S. is a threat to Iran. Now, I'm not saying that because it's my opinion. I'm saying that because the facts of history prove that. So what do I mean? Well, Iran elected Mohammad Mossadegh. It was democratically elected leader, okay? And you know what he did? This is going back to the 1940s, 1950s. He nationalized the oil industry. Before, all foreign corporations, Western corporations, U.S. and European corporations, went into Iran and we would just loot the oil. We would just take it. So along comes this guy who actually gives a shit about the people of his country. He says, I'm going to nationalize it, and you guys are going to make money off it. It's no longer going to go to these, asshole Americans. So what happened? The CIA funded a coup where we overthrew Mohammad Mossadegh and put in the Shah, a dictator. So we overthrew their democratic government, put in an authoritarian government. That guy ruled for fucking decades. In 1979, I think it was, there was a revolution. Now, granted, there were super religious undertones to the revolution, but it succeeded, and now, the U.S. acts like terrorists. It's a terrorist state. They're our mortal enemy. They've done wrong to us. they've done wrong to us. We've done wrong to them. We destroyed their government and put in a puppet government to help us. And what, you think they don't know that today? You think they forgot? That's why they want a fucking nuke, to make sure that the U.S. doesn't do that again to their government. How do people not see this? Iran is one of those places in the world where it is the most rational position ever for them to say, I'm fucking scared of America, I'm scared of Israel. Of course, the crazy person Netanyahu has been chomping at the bit to attack Iran. So they're rightly afraid of us. Meanwhile, our media makes it seem like they're the bad guys. It doesn't make any sense, but in conclusion here, to bring it full circle and talk about the point of this article, should we team up with them to fight ISIS? See, conservatives don't know because they don't know anything about history. They don't know anything about the world. They don't get it that Iran is Shiite and ISIS is Sunni. And ISIS, it's their mortal fucking enemy. Anytime somebody in ISIS sees a Sunni, they kill them. I'm not kidding. And they say that. They say, yeah, we kill all the Shiites, we kill all the Christians. That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay, so Iran hates ISIS with a burning passion. So if you say to me, hey, Kyle, should the U.S. government and the Iranian government like literally work together where they're, fighter pilots from each place are talking to each other and they're coordinating together and they're striking targets. If you ask me, hey, should they do that? Well, I'd say no. But the only reason I'd say no is because I don't think we should be fighting ISIS over there anyway. So if you're telling me that as part of a nuclear deal, and an economic sanctions deal where we loosen sanctions on them, that they will agree to fight ISIS, oh my God, absolutely, I want them to fight ISIS anyway. Iran is infinitely more moderate. The Shiites in Iran are not looking to do jihad and take over Kentucky. Okay, ISIS, while they don't have the capability to do that, if they could, they would try to do world domination. Of course I want the Shiites in Iran to destroy ISIS. Who doesn't? People who don't know anything about the world, geography, history, those are the people who don't. In other words, Republicans don't. But the anger over this is so silly. They just see some Muslim talking to Obama, oh my God, Obama's a Manchurian candidate, this is unacceptable, he has no idea what he's doing, he's naive, he's stupid. And of course the irony is, who's really naive and stupid? The Republicans, because they don't know the history and they don't know that Iran, the Shiites, are a natural enemy of ISIS.